Andy Robertson baffled by VAR excuse as Liverpool star vents frustration. Andy Robertson has said he disagrees with the officials' decision to disallow what he felt was a perfectly good goal for Liverpool in Sunday's 3-0 defeat to Manchester City. The Reds were second best for long spells at the Etihad and were comfortably beaten by Pep Guardiola's side, but the outcome of Sunday's game could have been different had Virgil van Dijk's goal in the 38th minute been allowed to stand. The Liverpool skipper rose highest in the area and planted a header beyond Gianluigi Donnarumma, who dived forlornly towards the ball. Yet City was handed a reprieve when the goal was chalked off due to what was believed to be an interference from Robertson, who was standing in an offside position but ducked and allowed the ball to go over his head. The Premier League claimed Robertson was deemed to be making an obvious action directly in front of the goalkeeper, although it was an excuse the Liverpool left-back found difficult to accept. I think we scored a perfectly good goal at 1-0, which probably completely changes everything if you go into 1-1 when you maybe don't deserve it, Robertson told reporters after the game. Yeah, I don't agree with the excuse they've given. Asked what explanation was given for the goal being disallowed, Robertson replied, I think initially they were looking at whether I was in the eyesight of the goalkeeper. I think everyone can rule that out. I think if they say that, then there will be obviously bigger problems, but it's clear that I'm not in the eyesight of the goalie. But I think then they kind of change that a little bit and say that obviously the fact that I ducked, but in my opinion, that makes me smaller, so it makes it easier for the goalie to see the ball, and I don't think the goalie gets it regardless. I don't think anyone will disagree with that, but the referee gives it. Obviously the linesman gives it as offside, and then it goes to VAR. And you think it's going to be a perfectly good goal, and then they show it the explanation on the big screen, which makes us all hugely frustrated. But it's difficult for the ref. I felt sorry for the ref. You look for the VAR to kind of help him out. I think now people are saying there's a quite similar example with City from Wolves away last season, and that got given. So it's obviously a gray area. Hugely frustrating, and it would have got us right back in the game when we probably didn't deserve it. So it was a crucial moment in the game. As Robertson indicated, he felt that regardless of the disallowed goal, Liverpool was not deserving of anything from the trip to Manchester and claimed Arne Slot's side-faced City at its devastating best. We're hugely disappointed to get beat 3-0 by City, but I think City playing the way they did today beat everyone in the league, said the Scotland captain. In my opinion, if they play like that and the way that they did, they beat everyone in the league. We came up against a really good City team today, but if we're a really Liverpool side today, then the result is probably different, and that's where it comes short. We didn't perform to the way we know we can, and that's what our frustrations are at. Obviously, 3-0 was not a pretty result. Hugely frustrating, and I'm sure we'll have regrets, but it's now important that this week has been a good week apart from today. We were making strides. We put 2 really good performances in, against Aston Villa and Real Madrid. And I think in parts today, we played okay. It's important that now we go on an international break. We come back, and then hopefully kick on because we need consistency. I think everyone said that. We need to now go on consistently putting in good performances, and, obviously, let's see where that takes us. Italy manager breaks silence as Liverpool's Federico Chiesa turns down call-up. Liverpool forward Federico Chiesa has turned down the chance to join up with the Italian national team for the November international break. Gennaro Gattuso says the Italy boss told reporters that he spoke with Chiesa, and the Liverpool man told him that he was not ready to link up with the squad ahead of games with Moldova and Norway in World Cup qualifying. Chiesa has not played for the Italian national team since Euro 2024. I must respect what the player tells me, Gattuso said in a press conference via Football Italia. I often talk to him. We have to respect the decisions and problems that each of us has. We know well what we tell each other, and I must respect what the player tells me. I can't say anything else. Last month, Gattuso said Chiesa had told him he doesn't feel 100% and only wants to join up with Italy when he feels fully ready to play a part. In Chiesa's absence, Italy's attacking options are Francesco Pio Esposito, Inter Milan, Moise Kean, Fiorentina, Riccardo Orsolini, Bologna, Matteo Politano, Napoli, Giacomo Raspadori, Atletico Madrid, Matteo Retegui, Alcazia, Gianluca Scamacca, Atalanta, and Mattia Zaccagni, Lazio. Rather than playing for Italy, Chiesa will train with Liverpool. This season he has scored twice but has yet to become a regular for Arne Slot. He played the full game as a much-changed Liverpool crashed out of the League Cup at home to Crystal Palace and was only used for a handful of minutes in the fixtures that followed. Against Aston Villa, Chiesa was an unused substitute. He then came off the bench for a handful of minutes against Real Madrid and Manchester City. In the summer, Chiesa had interest from clubs in Serie A but chose to stay at Liverpool. In a World Cup year, he is surely hoping to return to the Italy squad to play at next summer's tournament. Even though he didn't feature much, Chiesa told Sky Sports last week that winning the Premier League title with Liverpool was in the top 3 moments of his career. Winning it for Liverpool, playing with amazing players, it was just amazing, he said ahead of the Manchester City game. Even though I didn't participate that much, but I was glad I won that trophy. Liverpool told Virgil van Dijk goal mistake made as ex-referee speaks out. Liverpool's Premier League title challenge encountered another blow after they were comprehensively beaten by Manchester City on Sunday afternoon. Following consecutive victories over Aston Villa and Real Madrid, the Reds traveled to the Etihad brimming with confidence. However, after a lackluster opening, Arne Slot's team found themselves trailing when Erling Haaland nodded home. Nevertheless, to their credit, the Reds responded positively, and they believed they had drawn level when Virgil van Dijk powered home a corner. Yet after a VAR examination, the goal was chalked off for offside, with Andy Robertson deemed to be impeding play. City would subsequently secure all 3 points courtesy of strikes from Nico Gonzalez and the exceptional Jeremy Doku, though the decision to rule out Van Dijk's effort has sparked considerable debate. Former referee and professional game match. Officials Limited PGMOL Chief Keith Hackett has now outlined why he believes an incorrect decision was reached. Well, we saw Liverpool have a perfectly good goal ruled out on the basis of offside, he told Football Insider. We know there is a degree of subjectivity in this specific law, but let's have a look at it. A player in an offside position at the moment the ball is played or touched by a teammate is only penalized on becoming involved in active play by interfering with play, by playing or touching a ball passed or touched, by a teammate or interfering with an opponent by preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play by clearly, obstructing the opponent's line of vision or challenging an opponent for the ball. Yes, he's Robertson, in an offside position, but that in itself not an offense. Did he really interfere with the goalkeeper? I think the goalkeeper had a clear line of sight. He could have saved it. He didn't. The ball went in, and the officials took the easy decision to give offside and rule out the goal. Wrong, in my opinion. Yes, I agree a degree of subjectivity around this law, but my opinion is, I don't like good goals being ruled out. Reflecting on the ruling following the match, Van Dijk commented, "In football, the officials are deciding the key decisions, and we have to deal with it on the pitch. There is no point discussing this from my point of view. The reality is that we lost 3-0, and that is a big blow. It doesn't matter what I say about the goal, because anything I say will be in the media, and the whole international break will be about my comment on the decision. I just focus on the fact we lost. You guys can debate if it should have stood. The first half was difficult, and they were much more comfortable on the ball, and it was difficult for our guys to put pressure on them. I don't think there was a lot of danger, but Doku had a good game, and it was difficult for Connor Bradley in the one-on-one at times. I don't think we were much in trouble, but we could have done better. We had to dig deep in the second half. We got more momentum in possession, but outpressing wasn't good enough. It's about finding consistency and carrying on. Now we go to our countries, stay fit, and be ready for a big run after. We are not going to give up whatsoever. We are in November, and we are ready for a long season and a big fight.